United Nations recognizes the rights of all the world's indigenous people. I do not want any blood spilt, not of an Ogoni man, not of any strangers amongst us. We are going to demand our rights peacefully, non-violently, and we shall win.
In the heart of Nigeria's Niger Delta lies Ogoniland, a land rich in culture and resources, yet marred by exploitation and environmental devastation, almost leading to possible extinction, despite living above one of the world's largest oil reserves, operated by Shell. The struggle for justice began in 1990, mounting frustrations over human rights abuses and neglect led renowned environmental activist Kenule Saro-Wiwa and a coalition of local chiefs to form the Movement for the Survival of Ogoni People, MOSUP.
This spill has been going on for the last 6 weeks. This sort of pollution, to live with it in an area where land is in very high demand, is completely destructive of the community.
MOSUP emerged as a powerful voice in response to the environmental destruction wrought by oil exploration. Their mission was clear: to advocate for the rights of the Ogoni people and to seek environmental justice. In its inaugural act, MOSUP drafted the Ogoni Bill of Rights, outlining Ogoni's urgent demands for environmental protection, self-determination, and control over their resources. With strong community support, MOSUP quickly gained momentum. The struggle reached a pivotal moment in 1993. On January 4, an estimated 300,000 Ogonis gathered in a historic mass peaceful protest against Shell's oil operations, marking the first Ogoni Day, a celebration of unity against environmental destruction and economic exploitation.
From today onwards, Shell is declared persona non grata in Ogoni.
While Shell suspended production in Ogoniland in mid-1993 in the face of local and international protests, the abuses set in motion by Shell's reliance on military protection continued. The River State Internal Security Force, a special military unit, continued to target Ogonis for human rights abuses based on real or imputed association with MOSUP. Again, tragedy struck. The resolve of the Ogoni people was met with brutal repression. On May 21, 1994, a dark cloud descended over Ogoniland when 4 prominent Ogoni leaders, Mr. Albert Bade, Chief Edward Kobani, Chief Samuel Oragi, and Chief Theophilus Oragi, were brutally murdered in Gokana local government area, deepening the crisis. In a swift response, the federal government, under a military regime, arrested Saro-Wiwa and his 8 colleagues, Saturday Dobe, Nodu Eao, Daniel Boko, Paul Levera, Felix Noate, Baribo Bera, Barinem Kyobel, and John Guine, claiming they were complicit in the horrific acts, leading to their trial shrouded in controversy. The Ogoni 9 were tried by a special tribunal and executed by hanging on November 10, 1995, a tragic event that silenced a generation of Ogoni leaders and ignited outrage worldwide, leaving families and supporters on both sides still yearning for justice. Even 32 years later, the pain and anger persists, despite many efforts towards healing and reconciliation. Though decades have passed, Ogoniland remains a battleground for justice.
Most times when people ask me, what will you see as the most significant achievement of the struggle? I say first is the recovery of Ogoni identity. There were times that Ogonis were not even proud of themselves. People looked down on them and all that. But all that, within a space of very short time, it hardly happens to a people. That people now get back and every person feels proud that I'm Ogoni. Before, it was a derogatory term. Now even people who are not from Ogoni, even sometimes want to claim to be Ogoni. It has become a standard by which even the world now judges about how a small group of people can be committed to a cause and project it to become an international issue. I think that we have done that significantly well. And so we got into the stage now. For me, as being part of those who were the pilots that took that struggle into the air, I also feel that I should significantly contribute to a safe landing of the struggle. But a struggle is something continuous. It doesn't mean that you end at a stage. But what can the people achieve? How do we translate all their suffering, their commitment to a cause? How do we get things done?
The struggle continues, with successive administrations attempting to resume oil exploration, often overlooking the voices of the Ogoni people. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration sought to revive oil exploration in Ogoniland. He established the Human Rights Violation Investigation Commission, commonly known as the Oputa Panel, headed by Justice Chukwudifu Oputa, retired. Its mandate was to identify those responsible for past violations and recommend measures for redress and prevention of future abuses. Yet, meaningful process was elusive.
The Ogonis went before the Oputa Commission. And at a time that the schism, the difference between what we call the Ogoni 9 and the Ogoni 4 were as wide as you can think of. And Oputa went into a process of reconciliation between these groups. I championed the Mossop cause as then. There were Ogonis who were opposed to that reconciliation, that did not see any reason why the 4 and the 9 should have a reconciliation. That is another story for the day, but that happened. But at the end of the day, Oputa Commission met and reconciled, and we signed a document, both the 9 and the 4. And that has been the framework of what, while I was Mossop president, we were working on. So we had already, in terms of that, we abolished what we used to see as Ogoni 4 and Ogoni 9. Mossop under me, we banned the question of referring to one as 4. We had the Ogoni 13, because we all took all of them in terms of that agreement as heroes of the struggle, a symbol of the heroes of the struggle. There are several others who are unsung till today. So this is what was the framework. And in recent years, I now find that either out of ignorance of what we have moved or for some other reasons, people are still trying to go where we have passed from. And I think that this conversation should take a cue from where we have and work on it and get the two groups. I mean, it should work on that framework, and that will bring about peace. Because at the end of the day, we must think of these Ogonis who made sacrifices, and to now put one side as if you are this side as this, does not help any person. At the end of the day, we must know that these are brothers and sisters. All those people, whether the 4, many of them made tremendous, profound sacrifices to this struggle. And you cannot throw it away. And that's exactly what I think should be the framework of any conversation in terms of reconciliation.
Additionally, the Ogoni Reconciliation Committee, ORC, was formed, led by Reverend Father Matthew Hassan Kuka, now a bishop. to foster genuine reconciliation among affected communities and families. However, meaningful progress was limited until the end of the Obasanjo administration in 2007. Under President Goodluck Jonathan, a significant investigation into Ogoni's environmental devastation was initiated through the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP), culminating in the landmark UNEP report, an urgent call for action. Jonathan's administration also launched the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Program, led by Joy Nunye, though it initially lacked the necessary authority for real change. After strong advocacy from Ogoni leaders, it was expanded into a comprehensive project. The Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Program, established to address environmental damage, saw some funding under the administration of Muhammadu Buhari to kickstart the activities of HYPREP, which continues to operate across Ogoniland. In February this year, a new chapter emerged. President Bola Tinubu convened a meeting with selected Ogoni leaders and stakeholders at the presidential villa. He appointed National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu to facilitate discussions on resuming oil exploration with Ogoni stakeholders, urging the delegation to gather feedback from their communities, signaling a potential shift in engagement. This meeting resulted in the formation of the Ogoni Dialogue Committee (ODC), chaired by Professor Don Baridam, a former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, with Archbishop Ignatius Kati, Barrister Tom Jackson Orage serving as co-chair and secretary respectively, and Honorable Joe Poroma as member, as well as Prince Austin Kabari representing the Office of the National Security Advisor. Following the meeting with the President, the ODC organized an Ogoni National Congress at the Peace and Freedom Center in Buri to brief the people about the outcome of the meeting and announced its plans for grassroots consultations.
It's important that I begin by acknowledging the invitation extended to the Ogoni delegation by the Master President, Asiwa Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Chise, for a meeting at the presidential villa on Tuesday, 25 January 2025. The President, who recollected how he stood shoulder to shoulder with us in our collective struggle for justice and freedom, his wisdom appealed to us to set aside all our differences, unite in peace, and engage in a credible dialogue process.
And in that meeting, the President advised the delegation to go home and consult with the Ogoni people widely. And we topped that. He emphasized that there had not been any negotiations yet. But that delegation asked that the government should do some confidence-building measures that will make the people feel comfortable to engage in the dialogue process. As a result of that, the federal government has made some responses for our request for confidence-building measures. Number one is the standing into law of the University of Environmental Technology. And I can tell you further that in line with that, conversations are going on between the federal government and the state government to hand over the campus at for the takeoff of that university. They have also agreed to fast-track the East-West road, and an agreement has been reached that this time, at least one part of that road must be completed within 3 months, in fact, end of April. So we will be able to have that. They've also agreed to do some affirmative action to employ some Ogonis from each of the local governments in NMPCL and other federal government institutions. Those of you who are familiar with the Bill of Rights, one of the demands was that Ogonis be represented in federal institutions as of right. So we are making some progress in that direction. And there was also some infrastructural interventions that they were supposed to do. And I can also report that as we speak, they have put those in the current national budget, and they will be fast-tracked in the funding so that there will be some activities going on. Mind you, and he said that this is the confidence-building measures. It has not gone to the conversation yet. The conversation is going to be an outcome of what they have started. This is to inform you. There will be town hall meetings. Town hall meetings will go in each of the local government areas, and at the end of the day, they will now have a decision that will reflect all our collective views. He has gone out to give out the email that will happen. This is what will happen in the days ahead. So at least you now have a view of what has happened, contrary to what some people are praying.
The Congress was attended by traditional rulers, religious leaders, political figures, and other stakeholders, including youths and women. In line with its response, the Ogoni Dialogue Committee launched town hall meetings across all 4 local government areas in Ogoniland. The first meeting took place in Gokana, where co-chairman Archbishop Ignatius Kati and an Ogoni leader, Ledum Mite, engaged with community stakeholders, gathering insights to present to the federal government. Kati highlighted the government's initial confidence-building measures, including the establishment of the Federal University of Environment and Technology and the fast-tracking of the East-West Road project.
I stand before you today on behalf full of gratitude and the spirit of commitment to our shared journey. First and foremost, I wish to extend our sincerest apologies on behalf of the esteemed chairman of the Ogoni Dialogue Committee, Dr. Tom Kanda, who due to unforeseen circumstances is unable to be with this program. The last time was the loss, but does not diminish the importance of this gathering.
King Festus Pago Bajia urged Ogoni youths to promote peace and contribute to their community's development.
I reminded of the wise word of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who recently emphasized the importance of unity, reconciliation, inclusive, consultation in achieving our goals. We must indeed work together with mutual trust, respect to overcome the historical grievances and challenges that have hindered our progress in the past.
The youth of Gokana also pledged their unalloyed support to the Ogoni Dialogue Committee grassroots consultation in their LGA. The 17 communities in Gokana had previously met to define their demands, which were compiled into memoranda for the Ogoni Dialogue Committee.
Ogoni, Gokana,
Following Gokana, the committee proceeded to Tai, where they commended President Tinubu for initiating a peaceful dialogue with the Ogoni people. Community representatives presented their memoranda.
I would like to begin by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for institutionally initiating the engagement in dialogue with the Ogoni people.
Highlighting the collective voice of the oil-bearing communities, Senator Impigi emphasized that the Thai people were not opposed to oil resumption in their area, but expects the government to respond to the needs of the people.
On behalf of the Thai people, to thank the President Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and also thank our leader, the National Security Advisor, for his sleepless night in making sure we actualize what we are on today. Thai people have said wholeheartedly they are not opposed to oil resumption. Are we opposed to oil resumption? No!
In Eleme, traditional rulers and community leaders engaged in constructive dialogue. Archbishop Kati acknowledged the community's peaceful participation, emphasizing that this was an opportunity for healing and reconciliation after years of neglect.
We extend our heartfelt thanks to our President, His Excellency, Bola Tinubu, for initiating the dialogue process that has paved the way for healing and reconciliation.
The One Eleme, King Obele, urged the committee to address the historical neglect caused by oil exploitation, stressing that Eleme has suffered despite hosting several multinational companies.
They leave also massive unemployment. Increasing crime rates, social degradation, urgent poverty, and environmental pollution arising from industrial noise.
The final town hall meeting took place in Bori, the headquarters of Kana local government. Professor Don Baridam, the committee chairman, reiterated that the report to be presented to the federal government would reflect the collective views of the Ogoni people.
As we gather here in Bori for the final town hall meeting of our series across our local government area, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to God for the success of our dialogue process. I would also like to extend my warmest congratulations to the communities within Ghana for successfully holding their kingdom meetings in your country. And Babi on the 4th and 5th of March, respectively. Your commitment to participating in this discussion has been commendable. I assure you that your views from this meeting will play a crucial role in shaping the Ogoni position for negotiation with the federal government regarding the resumptions of all activities in Ogoni.
The member representing Kana Gokana Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Dum Deko, called for unity among the Ogoni people, emphasizing that these gatherings provided a platform to voice their concerns.
Let me, on this note, thank the NSA and its team for doing this wonderful job. By the special grace of God and the presentations and the way our people are receiving this entire process, I strongly believe that our tomorrow is here. Amen. Let me congratulate all of us for coming out in mass to speak our minds. I can assure you that the team that is leading us in this entire process will be fair and very transparent. And all your views harvested will be addressed.
Prior to the town hall meetings, communities had convened to articulate their demands, which were collectively submitted by the various communities' paramount rulers for harmonization. The meetings featured cultural displays, celebrating the rich heritage of the Ogoni people, reinforcing a sense of identity and unity. Despite concluding its town hall meetings, the Ogoni Dialogue Committee continues to engage with various stakeholders and interest groups, including family members of the Ogoni 4 and 9, leadership of Mossop and Kagote, Ogoni oil-bearing communities, traditional rulers, religious leaders, youth and women, Ogoni civil society organization, and Ogoni diaspora, among others. Co-chairman Archbishop Kate set a deadline of March 30th, 2025 for the submission of memoranda regarding the resumption of oil production.
Yeah, that is the promise, and we are keeping to our promise. We want to get the grassroots. We want all interest groups to be represented. Like you saw the women today, you saw the Ogoni 20, you saw the oil production. We want everybody to contribute. We want to harvest ideas from that. They should be honored because we don't have time for this. We should bring their views, we should send their views to the federal government. We are not collecting the views, send to the federal government, and people that dialogue with them. We're already collecting the ideas. So by that March, all you need to receive a memoranda again.
In the aftermath of these efforts, the Ogoni Dialogue Committee received widespread praise for effectively engaging the entire Ogoni community regarding the resumption of oil drilling.
Yeah, and I think the committee have done their best. And I also commend our people to to have properly collate this information and then submit it.
We have done the great job carrying everybody along. All Ogonis know the position, and we all can see the general position of the Ogonis. So from one community to the other, we all know this is what this local government wants, this is what this community wants, and that's what it is. So they've done a great job.
I think what I would say is that I am part of the dialogue committee.
Those who are making this
I was invited to Abuja.
welcome you.
It's just that I wasn't available to attend.
It's just one word.
So I know God is with us.
Because I commend them because they listen to people and take advice. Without advice, they cannot do anything.
The dialogue committee has been very transparent, and I will not fail to thank the National Security Advisor, which the President gave this assignment, and the Governor of Rivers State. Every serious stakeholders in this process have done so well, and things have gone well.
So they have really tried. I least expected this much of movement from them, and I give them all the kudos because they have tried. They have dedicated themselves. You can see the interest, which shows that everybody has been yearning for the improvement and development of the Ogoniland.
The Ogoni Dialogue Committee, like I said earlier, has performed credibly well because one, they have identified with community-based youth presidents, and so it is what have been lacking, that communication gap between the youth and the leadership, which has never happened.
Well, we are not going to drink the oil, and this is what our leader Ken Sawewa was looking for since years ago, and he died. You know, he was looking for a way to sit with the federal government, and they said, no, we can't sit with you. And today we've been opportune, been pitied by our president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, because he's part of the Ogoni struggle. He was a member of NADECO then, and they knows what we went through. And NADECO was behind the Ogoni struggle. And we believe he knows about the Ogoni struggle. So he is doing the right thing.
The town hall meetings organized by the ODC showcased cultural displays and performances celebrating the rich heritage of the Ogoni community.
In negotiation, you negotiate from the point of view that you know the mandate that you have. My view is that what you have captured from the ground, the grassroots, from community, gives you your mandate. This is what, if you are going for a negotiation, this is what my people say. If you are going to send a child to the market to go and sell something, you tell them, this is the last price. This is what they are saying. So the person can haggle if he gets something better and all that. So once the people have spoken through these conversations, the framework for negotiation, you are already ready for the negotiation. And I said, I mean, over the years, I've reinforced the point that it does not matter by whom or by which group we score our successes. What matters is that the successes we score. So for me, as leader meter, I don't so much feel that I must be in the room for the negotiation. Once my voice has been heard through the people and through this harvesting of views, that these things are there. Who goes there to make those negotiations does not matter to me. What is more important is what they bring home that will reach every person.
We have this opportunity to negotiate, so we can negotiate some other things that can go with oil production, which will benefit our people. I say ever bothered you young people. In the whole of Ghana local government, there is no unit of economic activity that can engage 10 young people outside the local government. And that's why everybody wants to be local government chairman, everybody wants to be councillor, everybody wants to be supervisor. So it is time for us to move from fear and open up the place for business so that young people can get something to do.
The Ogoni struggle, born from a fight for survival, continues to resonate. As the community seeks justice and environmental restoration, the legacy of their fight serves as a powerful reminder that the quest for dignity and rights is far from over. It is hoped that the next phase of the dialogue, the negotiation between Ogoni and the federal government, would address the age-long injustices against Ogoniland.
Ogoni